You know, it really wasn't all that long ago where I couldn't save a dime. I remember watching the numbers in my bank account and so badly I wanted to get them to $3,000. I remember that being my goal. I would almost get there and then it would drop back down to $2,300 and then $1,700. Either I was spending too much money or I wasn't earning enough money, and it was honestly probably a mixture of both of those things. I remember I could never purchase anything big without resorting to using a credit card. And I was always waiting for payday like it was Christmas. Like I would watch that Friday come every other week and then it would be gone, and then right away I was watching for it again. And then, you know what, over time things slowly started to change as I got my finances under control. And now we have a 55% savings rate. So today I wanted to go over some of our expenses and also go over some of the things that we do that allow us to have such a high savings rate, so that maybe you can learn a thing or two and apply it to your own budget as well. You guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate you watching. I'm Bryce with Sane Sense, where we talk about everything from personal finance to real estate investing. If it's your first time here, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button down below. Really appreciate that. Also, give me a thumbs up if you could, because it really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Getting right into it, one of the biggest things that really helps us cut down our expenses is we only buy cars from auction. Probably every single person in the finance space, they'll warn you about the dangers of buying a brand new car. And I've done it myself. In some of these other videos, I've talked about how you shouldn't buy a brand new car because in the first 4 years, you'll get so much in depreciation lost and, you know, all these different things. But my wife and I, we still drive really nice cars. They're high quality, they're good vehicles, they're not gonna leave us stranded, but we just don't pay full price for them. The most recent car that we've bought from auction is my wife's Kia Optima. It's a 2015 Kia Optima. I think it has 30,000 miles on it, and we only paid $4,700. If you look that up in Kelley Blue Book, right now it books somewhere around $12,000 to $13,000. So that's a pretty big spread. So typically what we do when we buy these cars from auction is they have either something cosmetically wrong with them, or maybe there's mechanical issues, and you can find cars that are not even worth dumping money into, but if you keep your eye out, you can find some really good ones that kind of just slip through the cracks and just need a little bit of TLC. With my wife's car, for example, it had just been hit in the front left driver's side, the front corner, and it really didn't have that much damage. In the end, we had to replace an A-arm, we got a couple new airbags, a new seat, a new rim, we had to get a couple of tires on it, and then we slapped on a fender and a bumper that we had painted. We pulled them from a junkyard and then we had them painted. All in all, we were probably about $7,000 into this car after all the repairs and parts and everything that we got from various junkyards. And right now, like I said, it books for anywhere between $12,000 to $13,000. And we've done this multiple times. This is not the first time that we've done this. We've bought a Ford Focus from auction as well. One of my pickups was from auction. We, not too long ago, about a year ago, bought a white F350 from auction as well. And a couple months ago, I did a video where we bought a camp trailer and lived in that while we were waiting for our house to be done. And we bought that from auction too. We've probably done this half a dozen times. We'll buy a vehicle, we'll fix it up, and either we'll hang on to it or we'll just flip it and make a profit. Eventually, I plan on dedicating an entire video directly to this, where I show going to the auctions and purchasing the cars and doing all that. But overall, this has helped us save a ton of money, because typically people's biggest expenses is transportation. And when you can cut that price in half, it adds up really quick. Another thing that we do is we don't pay for cable TV. I grew up in a family where we never had cable TV. We just grew up either watching TV from the channels we got over antenna, or we watched VHS or DVDs. And then once I got married, we just decided to continue the trend. We don't pay for cable, probably just because we wouldn't really use it. We've got a couple TV shows that we like to watch, but for the most part, we either just watch it over antenna or we use Netflix as well. I think overall we pay $13 a month for TV. We have a Hulu account that we share with a couple of friends too, and I mean, really, that's it. During the fall, I do like to watch football games, and it would be a lot easier to do that if we had cable, but typically I just use my phone and use the free NFL app to watch pretty much any of the games. In our area, cable TV usually goes anywhere between $60 to $100, and so by not paying that, we've got money that we can dump into other things, and it's just not as big of a waste of time for us. Another way we save money is by having a family plan for our cell phones. My wife and I are currently on a family plan with 8 of her other family members. We pay typically $60 to $70 a month, and this gives us unlimited talk, text, and data too. Compare that to some of the phone bills that I've seen my friends pay. For 2 phones, they're paying somewhere in the ballpark of $250 a month. I mean, it's crazy. Now, I am a big tech guy. I really like to have the latest and greatest technology, but as of late, I really just haven't felt much of a reason to upgrade my phone. I think 2 or 3 days ago, Apple just released the iPhone 11, and honestly, I was kind of looking at it and I just thought to myself, meh, like it really, there's not enough new features or whatever to really cause me to upgrade. Rather than upgrading every 2 years, I'm going to try and push that cycle now to every 3 or 4 years, just because, like I said, the reasons to upgrade just aren't that compelling for me, and it's not worth a $1,000 price tag. And really, like, cool, I don't really care if your phone has 16 cameras on the back of it now. Like, I have 1 camera on my phone, and if I need a higher quality camera, I just use this camera that I'm recording on because it can do a better job anyway. I do have to say though, the mock-ups of the pan on the burner on the back of the iPhone, that's pretty funny. Another way we save money is we don't have any high interest debt. Actually, we don't have any debt for that matter aside from our house and business debt, which I don't really count that. Typically, I talk about consumer debt instead. There was a time in my life when I had a $500 car payment, $250 a month payment in student loans. I probably had a $200 a month personal loan that I was just paying back to the bank because I was stupid and borrowed a lump sum for nothing. And I think at one point I had a motorcycle loan too, which I don't know, kind of stupid. Anyway. In just one single month, I was paying $1,000 out of my pocket to somebody else rather than putting that money back in my own pocket. I buckled down, and honestly, it was probably my wife that kind of kicked my butt into gear. And we sold my truck, we paid off all our student loans, we paid off the credit card debt, and we finally reached a net worth of 0. It's kind of funny to think that getting to a net worth of 0 is like a really big deal, but for us that was a huge accomplishment. Knowing that we didn't owe anybody anything was awesome. Now, because we don't have any debt payments, all of that money that we have coming from our jobs every month stays with us. We're not paying it to creditors or other people. It's amazing how much money you can save when you're not giving it to others. And last but not least, another way that we can save so much is because we have excellent medical insurance. We are so blessed to be employed by a company that has really good medical benefits. This means that our out-of-pocket medical expenses are virtually nothing. Each year we have a really small deductible. I think it's somewhere around $700. But most years we don't even hit that. Not to mention, for the most part, we're actually pretty healthy. I could be better about going to the gym, but my wife makes sure that she does not miss a single day of working out. We also try to be fairly healthy as far as what we eat and as we cook. We go to the grocery store and we try and bring as much as we can home to cook throughout the week. My wife typically does all of the cooking while I go to the pantry and eat Oreos. We like to treat ourselves out on the weekends, go out to a nice restaurant and just kind of relax. But like I said, for the most part, we do try to cook at home because it saves a lot of money. Now, of course, while cutting back and minimizing your expenses is absolutely going to help you save more money, there's another way to save more money as well, and that's by increasing your income. Shocker, I know, right? You can only cut your expenses down so far, but you can always increase your income. Even if you're making $1 million a year, you can still make more money to increase your savings rate. The reason that we really do all this, the reason why we try to save so much money, is because everything we save is earmarked for our investments, which typically means real estate. All of our earnings from real estate, our side hustles, and our other investments we don't spend any of that money. We take it and just reinvest it back into the business so that we can grow faster and faster. In turn, this helps us grow larger and larger, which of course we still don't spend. We dump back into the business and reinvest so that we can grow even faster. Check out the video that I did on passive income where I talk about some of our side hustles and our businesses and how we were able to make over $2,000 a month in a relatively short amount of time. And of course, I have to throw this disclaimer out here. The reason I'm making this video is not to brag and say, oh, look how much money I save. I mean, that's not the point, and that doesn't do anybody any good. But I did just want to show some of the examples that we do to save money, and maybe you can take a few of those, apply it to your own budget, and be able to increase your savings rate as well. That's it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to do all the different things down below, like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and we'll see you guys in the next video.